Good day, everyone. Welcome back to our third lesson, Other Part of the Earth Land. So, yesterday we discovered a lot of landforms that we can see here in the Philippines. And land is very important because it is part on which human beings and many other living forms have made their homes and habitats. Let's find more about what land is. We have several landforms here in the Philippines. What are the landforms that you remember? We have discussed hills and mountains, volcanoes. We also looked into islands, plateaus, valleys, deltas, mesas, and deserts. We also have beautiful coral reefs and, of course, wide and vast plains. Now, let's look into the moving landscape of the Earth. Its land surface, like its waters, is always moving and undergoing changes, even though we may not have noticed these. The movements and changes take place very slowly and gradually over a long period of time. Although there are also sudden noticeable movements such as earthquakes, landslides, and avalanches, rivers and streams bring slit and mud to the plains, deltas, and seas. The waves of oceans, seas, and lakes also erode coastlines, gradually turning rocks into sand. Human activities such as mining and disasters such as volcanic eruptions likewise cause changes in our landscape. What are the primary causes of landscape change? What is mining? And what are the volcanic eruptions and its effects in our country? There are two primary causes of landscape change. The first one is what you call endogenous process or tectonic forces acting within the earth, and exogenous process or the gravitational forces acting over the earth's crust. In endogenous process, tectonic plates are found on the earth's crust or lithosphere. The movement of these plates causes the tectonic forces to bring about changes on the Earth's crust. When two or more moving plates meet, the surface of the Earth may bend or crack, causing the land between them to rise and wrinkle to form mountains. The pushing together of plates also causes underground rocks to melt. Molten rocks or lava usually force their way up to the surface. This results in a volcanic eruption. The second cause of landscape change is called exogenous process. Gradational forces such as weathering, erosion, and depositions also change landscape. One effect of landscape change is called weathering. This is the gradual loosening, decaying, and breaking down of rocks and minerals on the Earth's surface. This is something you do not want to see. Second cause is erosion. It is the breaking down of solid earth into smaller rocks, sediments, or particles, and the carrying away of these loose materials to another place. Like weathering, erosion is caused by the action of running water, wind, waves, currents, tides, moving snow and ice, or living organisms. Erosion is also accompanied by deposition, or the buildup of weathered rock and soil materials that were removed by erosion. Usually, after the materials are eroded, they are transported to and formed temporarily in the hollow depressions and basins of the Earth's surface. Another cause of landscape change is called mining. Since time immemorial, people have learned to extract minerals from the earth for various economic, social, cultural, and political purposes. Some minerals are used in the manufacture of tools and weapons. Other minerals are considered precious because of their beauty. As such, they are fashioned into jewelry. These include diamonds, rubies, sapphires, and emeralds, commonly called gemstones. In older times, gold and silver were used not only in making jewelry, but also a valuable measure of wealth and currency. Mining is the extraction of minerals from the ground. Today, mining in the Philippines plays an important role in the development of the country's economy. In the Philippines, the major metallic minerals that are mined are gold, iron, and copper. Meanwhile, the non-metallic minerals are coal, salt, cement, sand, gravel, petroleum, sulfur, asphalt, and limestone. The landform that caused so much destruction in the past is the volcano. It continues to be a danger to life, property, and environment. A volcano can be very destructive when so much of the heat and pressure in the Earth's core build up inside this landform and have to be released to the surface. Did you know that there are about 1,500 active volcanoes in the world? And it forms a chain around the Pacific Ocean. It is composed of over 75% of the world's active volcanoes. The Philippines has more than 200 volcanoes. 20 of these are active, while another 27 are potentially active. Let us look into the Philippine volcanoes. Mayon Volcano is famous for its near-perfect cone, which is found in Bicol region in Legazpi City. It has erupted more than 40 times since 1880. It last erupted in December 2009. It also showed volcanic activity in 2013. When it erupted in 1814, it hurled huge hot rocks, sand, and ash. Taal Volcano in Batangas is a volcano within a volcano, as it is found inside a lake. This lake is the crater of a prehistoric volcano. Taal Volcano may be the smallest active volcano in the world, yet it has already erupted 33 times. The eruption of Mount Pinatubo in June 1991 was the largest volcanic eruption in this century, not only in the Philippines but also worldwide. The provinces most affected by the eruption were Zambales and Pampanga. The most serious problem experienced was the continual flow of lahar, or volcanic mudflow, down the slopes of Mount Pinatubo to the valleys and plains below. On the last video, I asked you what are the connection of the resources to each other. Our vital natural resources of air, water, and land, and the energy that comes from the sun have been sustaining our life on the earth. Our survival in our ecosystem depends largely on the delicate balance in our use of these resources. For example, without photosynthesis, there will be no oxygen to support human and animal life. Oxygen is released. Without the biological processes in the land or soil, food production would be impossible. The interconnectedness of living and non-living things is realized in many cycles in the atmosphere, hydrosphere, and lithosphere. Oceanographers tell us that the atmosphere above the ocean is very important because without the atmosphere, there will be no air or wind disturbance to move over the ocean surface and bring about waves and wind-driven currents. The skies could even be dry, empty, and cloudless. Without evaporation from bodies of water, there would be no rain. Furthermore, when rainwater enters the soil, it becomes groundwater that is used by all living things on the earth. The living things continuously work together with our air, land, and water resources. Our resources are our natural life support systems. If we damage each one of them, the damage will also befall us. We have to learn to care for the earth. To be a responsible citizen of the Philippines is to uphold values, practices, and principles of sustainable development and environmental balance. Can you tell me now how are resources all interconnected? I hope that by the end of this lesson, you were able to realize how important it is to take part in taking care of our environment. Thank you so much, grade 4. I'll see you again. Bye!